Here we go. These are my bunny ears. And so I said, your ears have to be so big and so wide that you can hear the sounds. Okay, so if I say teacup, how many sounds do teacup? How many parts did you hear? 2 parts. So I've introduced level 1 of phonological awareness, which Emerald Deschamps wrote this book, and he says you got to teach them to listen for the sounds. Sometimes parents don't quite understand that. They said, well, my child, they started talking when they were 1 or 2 years old. But there's a difference between talking and understanding the sounds. So this is totally different when we're training our parents on this, and also new teachers. So Emerald Deschamps says we start off with word awareness, then we do rhymes, and then we start them with segmenting and blending whole words. It's kind of like if you have a funnel. You know what a funnel is? You're measuring something. So let's say we're putting water down the funnel. So it starts at the top and it comes all the way. It's big, and then it comes down to that little part. Let's put a word in there. It starts off, let's say it's mat, and then it comes down and then you see the at. So each individual sound finally comes down the funnel. So that's a great example that I give teachers, and a great example that I give students when I'm doing that.
Thank you for checking out this video. Are you getting enough value from it? You see, this video was created for the purpose of adding value to you. So if this video make any sense to you, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested in understanding what you take away from this video and if it makes sense to you, so we can provide more. Now let's return to the video.
Understand the systematic approach. And it's hard work, but it's heart work. So when you start working in the heart and put the structure together, then you understand how to teach reading.
How do you really teach reading? Share some of your experiences with me.
Well, number 1, you have to use data. Data is so important. So it's very important. I don't make assumptions about where children are, because every child is different. And so I have to differentiate the instruction. But before I can differentiate instruction, I have to know where they are. Now, the Science of Reading and the National Reading Panel came up with 5 strategies that kids have to be taught, and they're put on a continuum. They are, number 1, phonemic awareness or phonological awareness. So you build that auditory system, because we know, and this is very important, we know that the brain was not meant to read. And so we can't go into a classroom with presumptions about where they're going to be, how they're going to be it. But the brain was not wired for reading. And so we have to teach phonological awareness, the sounds of language, so they can hear the sounds. A lot of teachers will start off with the letters right away. No, we have to start off with hearing the sounds of words. And so let me give you a real good example. For example, I may say, I love to read. How many words did you hear in that sentence that I just said? I love to read. 4 words. So it's just awareness of words. And then the rhyme, the rhythm and the rhyme. So there's a lot of rhythms and rhymes that I'm going to teach, and songs. Jack and Jill went up the hill, Bill, Sill. So there's a lot of singing and rhymes and chants and things, so they can hear the sounds of language. And I have to tell you this, I'm going to stoop down just for a second because I've got to get something, okay?
All right, go ahead.
Oh, here we go. These are my bunny ears. And so I said, your ears have to be so big and so wide that you can hear the sounds. Okay, so if I say teacup, many sounds do teacup? How many parts did you hear? 2 parts. So I've introduced level 1 of phonological awareness, which Emerald Deschamps wrote this book, and he says you've got to teach them to listen for the sounds. Sometimes parents don't quite understand that. They said, well, my child, they started talking when they were 1 or 2 years old. But there's a difference between talking and understanding the sounds. So it's totally different when we're training our parents on this, and also new teachers. So Emerald Deschamps says we start off with word awareness, then we do rhymes, and then we start them with segmenting and blending whole words. It's kind of like if you have a funnel. You know what a funnel is? You're measuring something. So let's say we're putting water down the funnel. So it starts at the top and it comes all the way, it's big, and then it comes down to that little part. Let's put a word in there. It starts off, let's say it's mat, and then it comes down all the way, and then you see the at. So each individual sound finally comes down the funnel. So that's a great example that I give teachers, and a great example that I give students when I'm doing that. Then finally, we move into the letters. But before we show the letters, we're showing pictures. And then after they understand the difference, I may say, okay, so there's a cat, a mat, and a map. Which 2 words have the same beginning sound? Because we're looking for the sound. There are no letters, just working with sounds. And then finally, I'm going to put the letter M there and then show them how to make the letter M. And so they understand it. So I'll use those consonants that are strung out. And then from there, we move into alliteration. Bat and bee and bunny all begin with what sound? B. Can you find the letter B up here? So they hear the sound, and then they move into the letters as quickly as possible, and then they move into print. From there, we move into onset and rhyme, where if they know the at family, they know bat and cat and rat and sat. And then we introduce high frequency words, those sight words that they can know, that they can figure out right away. And from there, we move into decodable books. So now they're reading a story. So I always tell my teachers when I'm working with them, by December, if you're in a kindergarten classroom, by December, all of our kindergartners are reading. And they've done level 1 of phonological awareness. They've done level 2. And in the mix of all that, I'm reading stories to them. This is the decodable textbook.
Mm-hmm. Look at the dog.
So they'll know. Look at the dog. Look is a sight word. At is a rhyme, because if they know at, they know bat and sat and cat. The is a sight word, and dog. Og is a rhyme. So that if they know dog, they know tog. They know rog, they know bog. And so therefore, by December, all of my kindergartners were reading. Look at this. Now, isn't that easy? And so we're only working with those sounds that play fair. Because if you start introducing like C at the very beginning, C doesn't play fair, because C has the K sound, but it also has the S sound. So I don't want to confuse my children. So, and even the children in my school, my last school, I was able to turn it around from a D, F. For 10 years, the school had been either a D or an F school. I came in 1 year and we turned it around to a B school. But all of my kindergartners were reading by December because of what I just explained to you. And so from there, we're also asking questions. So look at Rex. He has a bed. Who are we talking about? So here we go. Let's go back to those big 5. Phonological awareness that I just talked with you about. Then we moved into
Hi, and thank you for checking out this short clip from Obehi Podcast. I'm Obehi Ewafo, the host of the Obehi Podcast. This short clip was created from a full episode where we dive deep into this conversation. To see the entire video, all you need to do is to click on the link in the description of this video. Now, while you are there, I want to share something with you quickly. Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur? Do you want to cut across the noise and attract the right audience, leveraging the power of storytelling? Now, pay attention. I'm currently working on a signature program to help you own your story and stand out for the competition. It's a 5-step journey to help reshape your professional and business narrative so you can drive success and stand out in the competition. And in less than 90 days. The link is what you see on your screen, academy.aclasses.org/story. Now, this is what we have understood. Storytelling is the most powerful instrument that is known to man. And this is what this could mean to you. You could either choose to own your story and leverage it to amplify your message and whatever you represent in this world, or some other person could own that story. The choice is yours. So why don't take advantage of your story and use it wherever you are, whether you are in business environment or you are a professional individual who want to be able to build your influence and leave a legacy behind because you represent something. You are owning your story. You are somebody whose story is important. So the choice again is yours. Now let's get started with this short clip.